Welcome to Mornings with Matt, personal and professional development training that connects the art of acting with critical life skills and self-mastery. Presented by the Deering Acting Studio.
Alrighty, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Mornings with Matt. This morning we are on with Corinne. Hello, Corinne.
Hi.
So you are a scholar in high school. Where are you going to high school?
I go to Sunny Slope High School in Phoenix.
That you're a sloper, huh?
Woo! We did a workshop there.
We sure
In
did.
her program, and she was in it.
I played basketball at Sunny Slope too, growing up.
I wrestled there.
Did you really?
Yeah.
It's a good high school.
You wrestled there?
Yeah.
Wait, time out. Brian was a wrestler?
Yeah, freshman year. Yeah. That career ended real quick when I got dropped on my head and I was like, I'm done.
Mistake. You should have stuck with it.
Probably. Would be 10 times stronger if that was the case.
Yeah.
So tell us about your schooling and where you are right now.
So I'm entering junior year, and I'm about to take 5 AP classes. For reference, I only take 6 classes each year. And I'm pretty nervous about it, just workload-wise. I think I can handle it, but I don't know how happy I'll be doing it, I guess.
So why are you doing it?
Well, so I can get into a good college with a good scholarship.
Okay. I mean, that's fair enough. Are you a smart kid?
I guess.
You get A's? Are you
Yeah.
okay. All right. So you're trying to push yourself so that your resume looks better so you can get into a better school? That's sort of the idea?
Yeah.
Are you excited about the classes?
Some of them. I really like math, and I'm going to be taking AP Calculus this year, which I'm kind of excited about. I'm less excited about AP Spanish and some of the harder classes, but.
So are you worried about the workload? Was that what's kind of weighing on you a little bit, or?
Yeah, and I'm just worried, like I won't be able to do the things I like as much.
Because
I'll be so busy.
okay, all right. When does school start up again?
Beginning of August, first week of August.
Okay, so you got about 2 months.
Yeah, about.
Well, my recommendation is start studying now. Nah.
She's like, nah.
That's the last thing she wanted to hear.
Well, I am doing summer homework right now.
Yeah, okay, good. But I'm saying like get ahead. I would start looking up those courses and start doing like some pre-work on like conceptual things so that you can your mind gets ahead on some of the ideas so that then when you go to class, some of the material will be review for you. And then you won't feel so behind or you won't feel like you can't do everything else. I know. I know it's good advice that just sucks.
I think also there's a little bit of lag on her side, so it looks like
Yeah,
she
definitely
cares
there's
a lot
a
less
teeny
about
bit of a
your
lag,
answers.
yeah. So it's like Matt will give it, and then there's just like this pause. It's very TV station, actually.
Yeah.
Like, Nancy, are you there? Hello? Like,
How's the windstorm, Nancy?
It's really, really bad over here, Jeff. Are you still there, Nancy?
There's
Yes.
a lot of wind coming in.
good. I like wind.
Look, it looks like we've got a little delay with Nancy. We're gonna take a minute here. Pretend like we know what we're doing. She's back. Good. Nancy.
Yes.
She is. All right. Very good. All right. So talk to us about your connection with Deering Acting Studio. How'd you get started?
So I've been Yeah, so I've been a student for almost a year. I started in August of last year, and I've always been into acting. And I went to a bunch of not studios, but like more summer camp things when I was growing up for acting. And I really wanted a studio that I could do long term. And I met a very good friend, Courtney Berman, over the summer. And she told me about this studio she went to and her improv group, and I was sold. And I came.
So we can thank Courtney Berman for,
sure can.
for the wonderful Corinne
Corinne.
being a part of our studio.
Yeah.
Let's get a round of applause for Courtney Berman. We're not ready to applause.
I'm giving a literal round of
All
applause
all
right
all
now.
So,
Hey.
The
So-
applause
and-
is
and-
coming, Nancy.
We could also.
I promise it is on the soundboard.
It's probably like a piece of lagging and then also a piece of 7 a.m. sort of hitting Corinne a little bit as well, I think.
are you not a morning person, Corinne? You look like a morning person to me. You're not a morning person?
Oh, I appreciate that, but I'm definitely not.
She did say in the beginning of this thing, she said, yeah, I'm the only one in my house awake right now. So
Well, that's cool. So you're getting a jump on the rest of your house already. That's good.
Yeah.
you gonna make everybody breakfast or what?
Oh, I could. I haven't thought that much into it, but
You should totally do that. How can you think to yourself, how can I serve my family by getting up so early? Like, just make everybody's day.
She's like,
I don't know if is it a lag or she thinks it's a terrible
I
idea.
think she knows it's a good idea. But she's
Nancy,
it's like,
Nancy,
Nancy, hello.
start your work early. Start the AP early.
She's like, I don't know about that. And then it's like, oh yeah, breakfast. She's like, not a great cook. No.
no.
That's a lot of food.
There are 5 people in my family. No.
So you have an interesting hobby. You're a sculptor? Is this what I see here?
I take 3D art sculpting class in school, and I really like it, and I think I'm pretty successful at it, at least within the boundaries of my high school.
So do you use a 3D printer for this?
No, so 3D art just means any form of art that's not flat. So it can be cardboard, sculptures, paper mache, clay, toothpicks. I had to make a toothpick sculpture once. That was terrible. Anything you could think of.
Could you make a sculpture of me?
I could. I don't think it would look very good. I've never done a person before, but
Maybe it's time. What about of Brian's hand? We could do
Yeah,
a
what about just my
sculpture
hand?
of
That
Brian's
would
like
be
my half
really
tan.
cool.
Look, if you do that, I'll put it on my TikTok, okay? She didn't like that either.
Wow.
that is tempting.
Yeah, well, and the nice thing about the sculpture of Brian's hand is it doesn't have to be all that perfect. You
Yeah,
know?
it
could
can be
be-
totally messed up. Like, you could really deform the thing. Like, it's fine.
All right, so we're a sculptor, and then you're a pretty accomplished theater actress. Looks like here, at least through your school. We got Lion King Jr., Shrek Musical Jr.,
Whoa.
Wicked, Annie, Chicago,
Those are a lot of big name musicals.
And I'm
Elephant's Graveyard.
all about that junior game. I mean, those junior musicals are the best.
They are good. Yeah, they're like the same thing as the regular, except
Just
for
Junior.
just a little younger. That's pretty much it. All right, so
Yeah,
where?
so those junior ones,
Yeah, go ahead.
those junior ones I did in like 7th and 8th grade with a community theater that put on the juniors, and then the other ones have been high school productions.
Okay, right on. Congratulations. I'm gonna start throwing back the awkward to her.
Ooh.
So when she says something to me, I'm just gonna go.
You reversed it. Hey.
All right, when we're back from commercials, we're going to see what happens when Matt gives Corinne more advice. All right, now it's making me nervous.
All right, so let's talk about where you are in your life right now. Like, how's your spirit?
Right now my spirit is good but anxious. If that makes any sense.
Sure, let's talk into the anxiety.
Just every student I've talked to that has been through their junior year says, oh my gosh, it's the worst. It's the hardest year ever. And it makes me feel really comforted about going into junior year, especially because I'm taking more harder classes than most of my peers.
Okay.
Most of my peers that I think are super duper smart, but I don't know why I hold myself to a higher standard, I guess.
I think because that's a good thing. Like, you want to maximize your potential. So good for you. I mean, it's a good thing. And understand that your junior year is difficult. I'll be honest. My junior year was really tough. But you're training yourself. There's a purpose for it, which is you're trying to push yourself to some new limits. And I can tell you, by the way, junior year is really hard. I mean, I'm going to really try to encourage you to feel better. I mean, it's so hard. It's like ridiculously hard. But guess what? Life after high school is harder. Oh, yeah. Man. So you want to push yourself to the limits. You want to figure out what you can do. And all you're basically just going to have to become better at time management. You're going to have to you just have to improve in a lot of areas. You might have to wake up a little earlier. Stay up a little later. Just be willing to do the things that other people aren't willing to do. It's so funny when she laughs like 3 seconds later. It's like hilarious to me.
It's like you're like, joke didn't hit.
Dude, you know what's interesting?
Yeah.
I bet you she's on the sling. Is that what it is? I'm watching the sling, Joey.
No, you're not.
No?
Nope. You're watching the Zoom.
Oh, well.
It happens sometimes.
It feels like the sling to me.
No, I rewired. It only feels like the sling because she is 3 seconds behind due to a lag.
Yeah.
Nancy!
Everybody's going to watch this and be like, "What? Why did they keep calling her Nancy? Is her real name Nancy?"
Yeah, so just know that there is a purpose for that. I think it's a good thing that you're pushing yourself. You're right to understand that that's going to be tough. Also, I mean, junior year being the hardest year. I mean, does it get harder than lockdown and riots?
Yeah,
and
right. Yeah,
and
true.
I don't think so.
Also, I know from experience, because I went to a couple of different high schools. Every year going into it, somebody from the year above me would be like, "Oh, that's the worst year," because they just got out of it.
Except senior year.
Yeah, that's not even true. I had a lot of bad reviews about senior year.
You're talking to the wrong people,
What?
Joey.
Yeah,
I've never heard bad things about senior year.
Senioritis.
Yeah.
Well, Joey's an expert here. He did junior year about 4 times.
Yeah.
That's true. I did do that thing, especially math. When you said that you love math and are excited for AP chemistry, I was like, that's disgusting.
She didn't say AP chemistry.
Just AP.
She said, what'd she say?
Calculus.
Oh, it
AP
starts
calculus.
with
AP chemistry. Chemistry has math.
I wonder why Joey didn't do well in math.
Chemistry, that's the one with the shapes and isn't it?
It starts with the C. You know what, guys? I passed, okay? I got my diploma. So.
Well, actually, though.
Did you? I did. I'm waiting for it to arrive in the mail.
It's going to come in the mail,
Until
Corinne.
we
It's
have
on
proof.
its way.
It got delayed because of the Rona, okay?
Yeah.
Sure it did.
Yeah, it's coming. Jumping on what Matt said, though, Corinne, before we go into questions, it is very much an opinion, I think, as far as like how bad any year is, because I mean, you look at Joey, he's got his, and yes, there's certain things that are about junior year that can be.
No, junior year is harder. It is.
If you choose that.
No, the workload's bigger. It just that's actually facts.
I don't know. Like, it wasn't for, no, I didn't care as much, but it didn't feel that way for me. Like, I didn't notice a difference as much.
Well, because you didn't actually study in any year, though.
Probably, yeah, probably that was a part of it, yeah.
No, I mean, there really is. There's an increased workload, and then there's a decrease back in senior year.
Got it.
So they do inflate you up, right? And I think part of it is because you're about to take your, like, there's so much pressure on junior year. Because you're also about to take, like, your SATs and, like, all these other things. So the schools are all prepping you because the school wants to look good. Yeah. So they add all this extra workload, and they're like, hey, we gotta get you prepared so that you look good and we look good before you take all these tests and everything. And then juniors are like, oh, I'm gonna freak out.
You're making Corinne feel really good right now.
Yeah. So I'm like, here's the thing. The goal on Mornings with Matt is to make people feel worse.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
Ideally, they should feel more stressed. If they're already feeling anxious, how can we make them more anxious?
Right.
That's like the goal.
Oh my gosh. Did you see her reaction?
She's like, it's working.
It was like 3 seconds later, and she just went.
Yeah, no, it's super awkward.
Well, I was just kind of agreeing with what you were saying about, like, the school prepping you and the school wanting to look good.
Totally.
Sometimes I feel like my school doesn't care about me. They just want my scores, you know?
100%. 100%.
They just want my scores.
That's gotta be like a sketch.
Oh, that's great.
My school doesn't love me for me. They only love me for my scores. It's true.
Why do you always go into the Russian boy voice?
That wasn't Russian.
It was a little bit.
I didn't hear Russian. It was
like why do the schools only want me?
No,
German.
That's
German.
Yeah, I was not being that guy.
Russian. Russian is
They only want me for my scores, and I'm not going to do it.
That is German. See?
But I want to get into good college, so I'm going to have to study. But I'm very anxious about it.
Very anxious.
You know what I do is I'm going to get ahead this summer. That way I'm not so stressed, and I can keep my acting going.
Nazi! There it is.
And
there it is.
she caught up. Cool.
Hey.
All right. So we now are going to conclude our show with a couple questions from Corinne. Corinne, 3 seconds later, go.
That's me. Okay.
She's like, yes, I am on the show.
Hey, it is me.
You guys are going to let me talk.
That's
cool.
great.
Cool. Yeah, no, we're not. As soon as you start to talk, we will interrupt because of the 3 second delay.
That's right.
It feels awkward if we don't. Okay. And
That's
3 seconds
true.
later, go ahead. 1.
2.
Okay.
That was only 2 that time.
Where do I even start if I want to get into the acting world? And I don't even know how to begin tackling that.
He's leaving.
He's leaving?
The thing is, with that, he hated your question so much that he's leaving.
I'm just gonna put it back on the empty chair
Empty chair.
until he shows back up.
I know what he's doing, which is
It
what
looks
makes
like
this so much
he
better.
went back into the closet.
Yeah, he's going into the closet, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my god!
I know exactly what he was doing.
I figured out.
He's not
what
going
he
to
was
actually
doing.
talk. He's just going to show you the answer.
Okay, thanks.
Have you read the book?
My day job.
I haven't. Is that where I start?
Yes.
Brian, how many times have you read the book?
Once.
I thought you read it like at least twice. You read it once on a plane.
You're right. You're right. I read it once on the
You
plane.
read it again.
Yeah.
I thought you read it 3 times.
You're right. I did.
I was trying to lift you up here, and you're like, just once. Just one
You're
time.
right. 3 times.
One time I read it. You know, no big thing.
You're right. 3 times.
I probably forgot most of it at this point because I only read it once.
Okay.
So I can answer a lot of your questions, but this book will answer a lot of your questions too, and I actually mean this. So here we have there's an introduction to this book. Then there's Get Out There, which is how to get started. So there's a whole chapter. whole chapter
Whole
on that.
chapter on your question.
On that thing
there.
right there. How to get yourself organized as an actor, how to build your team, how to brand yourself, how to run your own business as an actor, how to become your own producer, then how to be a great actor. And then there's a part that says about the author, and that's where I'm like right there in the back.
Wait. Time out. I just had a realization. Didn't you get a copy at the school workshop?
Do you have a copy of this book?
Yeah, I have one. Yeah.
Oh!
I know why you're
Oh,
anxious about
no.
your schoolwork now.
Yeah, that makes so
You
much
have
sense.
to read the books,
You have to
otherwise
read the
you won't know the knowledge.
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
That's great.
I mean, you put them on your shelf. That's awesome, but you gotta read them also.
I mean, here's the thing: it's a good looking book, so I would want it on my shelf too. But it's even better when you read the inside of it. There's all this stuff and there's words in here, and what you do is you.
When you're studying AP chemistry, as Joey mentioned, you gotta open it.
All right, so I'll go ahead and answer your question without walking away, I guess. The way you get started, honestly, is you just get started, and you're already doing it. You know, just by showing up for classes, by consistently giving yourself homework, being in skits with friends. If you do something every day towards your acting, so you're getting even just 1% better, then you are progressing toward that goal. And then eventually, I think you want to have the pendulum swing a little bit. So let's say right now you're a full-time student, and especially come junior year, it's going to be a little bit busier for you as a student. Okay, cool. Then you put as much time into acting as you can, and then as soon as some of the tension eases up, so let's say that you don't apply yourself this summer like I've recommended, then instead go all in on your acting for the next 2 months, for real, because then there's no excuse. So you should be doing, if you're not going to do eight hours a day on your AP classes to relieve your stress next year, then put 8 hours into your acting over the summer, and then you'll be 8 hours times however many days further along towards your 10,000 hours is going to take to become an expert at something. And if you want that thing to be acting, then you can do it. But basically, if you do acting every day, then acting can be your day job.
Yeah, acting is your day job if you choose.
Well, it
that.
could be acting. Acting is, well, it's my day job.
I just,
so.
Yeah.
I just want to put this out there really quick. I'm starting to get a hold of this whole live editing with delay from Corinne. Like, you said a joke, and then I waited like 4 seconds, and then I switched
Then
her
you
in,
switched
and I
her?
got the
Oh, you
reaction.
got the reaction.
Instead of switching her in and then just having her face be like,
Smart.
I don't know. I like the wait face.
that wasn't funny
Yeah,
at all.
The wait
Matt.
face is awesome.
I'll just laugh the whole time.
That's smart. Very good. Very good.
We're gonna have to make a GIF of Corinne that just says loading, and it's like half pixelated.
All right, and then you say, I don't even have headshots or an agent. So real quick, I say get yourself headshots and an agent. That'd be a good thing.
How?
So
Is it-
let me see here. There is a chapter on this. Look up brand yourself. No, so you basically you got to start with where you are. So a great headshot is going to focus on your eyes. So whoever's taking your photo, it could be a friend to start with. Just make sure that you're not wearing a T-shirt that's got a bunch of different designs on it and distracting from your face. Wear something you feel confident in, and it's all about focusing on your eyes. Then get that thing printed, and now you've got a headshot. And then as you progress, you'll select a better and better photographer, and you keep moving your way up. When it comes to the agencies, we've got a 100% sign rate over here. So when you're ready and you're feeling confident with your commercial work, if we're feeling really good about where you are in those areas as well, we'll just recommend you, and then you'll get signed. Otherwise, you can apply yourself. You just send in an application to the different agencies, and you're a talented girl. You'll get signed. So
100p.
my thought when it comes to the agencies is try to make yourself better than they require. So always progress further than where you want to be, so that, and then if agency is no longer your goal, like if your goal is well beyond the agent, then you'll be so good that they would be like morons not to sign you. And that's usually where I try to get everybody to before I recommend them. That way we keep our 100% sign rate.
Because that's something we talk about a lot, is that
100%.
100%. And if that 100% were to ever be broken,
Yeah, Corinne, if you break
If
the
you
100%,
broke it, if you break the 100%,
if you break the 100%, then it would be a really sad day for us.
no pressure. Let's
No
just add this
pressure.
to your junior
There's
year
no
things that you
pressure.
think about. Okay.
all right, Nancy, next question.
Nancy!
Nancy! Nancy!
I'm here. Okay. I wanted to ask about guilt because I feel a lot of guilt all the time, just over little mistakes that I don't know, should I be feeling guilty over forgetting to do the dishes, you know, or something a little like that. And it's not a great feeling, but I know I also grow from guilt. So I don't know if it's a good thing or not.
Well,
Corinne, I forget
some-
to do the dishes for Brian.
He does all the time, but he doesn't feel guilty, and he should. Some guilt is good. Like if you feel semi-guilty for having the book on your shelf for so long and not reading it, like that's okay.
Yeah,
That's okay. If
I
that
would
kind of
actually
guilt-
turn up the dial on the guilt on that one.
just like put it to like a 10.
I didn't know the book was about starting.
No,
I just
yeah,
thought it
right.
was
You wouldn't
about-
know. You wouldn't know it if you didn't open it. So that's the thing. As soon as you open it, then you realize like, oh wow,
Wait a second.
This is what this
I
is
mean,
about.
it's called Acting is My Day Job, 7 Strategies to Market and Make Money as an Actor. So
Yeah, I mean the intro's pretty clear. So if you just read the intro part, I think you'll figure it out.
Oh, Corinne.
She's like, I didn't know what the book was about. I just wanted to get it.
And is your book signed?
I was about to ask that. Oh my
Why
gosh.
does she feel guilty that like what in her life? I mean, I don't know why you put this on yourself.
All right, let's just be real for 1 second. How many books on that bookshelf behind you have you actually read?
It might not be her bookshelf.
Yeah, I think that's.
These are not mine.
Yeah.
I take responsibility for those.
I thought you just had a really
I'm in
cool
my
office.
dad's room right now.
Got it.
Does he read the books?
Well, these ones behind me are like traveling books. My dad's kind of a dork, so he likes to like research all the places he's going on a trip and like look up for the best hikes and stuff in those books. So
he reads them.
yeah, in my defense, I purposely only have like 7 books on my bookshelf, and I have read the majority of them.
6 out of 7, or
So,
like.
yeah, there's one book
All
just
right.
sitting there, just not
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
read.
right.
No.
Okay, all right.
Just go like this. Just go and blow the dust off.
I,
Open it up, because I believe there is probably an inscription in there. Probably.
There's chapter 11 on guilt, and so you could just read that. I'm gonna wait for the laugh. Waiting for it.
It didn't come.
it says
It's not
your
there.
internet connection is unstable.
Okay, well,
Hey.
There it is.
things got weird. Okay, so your guilt. Let's define guilt, because you're saying you feel guilty when you say forget to do the dishes.
just when I mess up.
Okay.
So like you like are doing the dishes and one slips and you break it, and that's like.
No, so she's saying like so because here's the deal with the dishes. Let's be honest. Are you forgetting, or are you making the choice not to do it?
That was just an example. I always remember to do the dishes.
So how about an example that's real?
From your life.
Just like, okay, so here's an example. So I was house sitting for this family like a couple days ago, and I actually had to wake up at 7 a.m. to do it. So I'm a little used to waking up that early, but I go the first day and I have to feed the cats, and I can't find the cat food. And I'm like looking in every single cabinet in their house, every single drawer, trying to find the cat food. And I will not call and ask where the cat food is, because I think I like overcomplicate the situation in my mind. And I think if I ask where the cat food is, she'll think, the woman I'm house sitting for, that I'm a terrible house sitter.
Did you
and
kill
I feel
the cat?
guilty for not being smart enough to find the cat food.
Did the cat die?
But then,
Is
no,
this like a really sad story?
no. So
What was the
wasn't gonna
cat's
not
name?
feed
Poor
the
cat.
Poor cat. Oh no, cats in America.
Eventually, no, I wasn't gonna not feed the cats. So eventually I call, and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to put it in the laundry room for you. It's in the garage. So it wasn't even something I did wrong, and I still felt so guilty for it, and I thought she was gonna be mad at me for it. So I just automatically started guilting myself.
Got it. Okay, so here's where you do need to feel guilty. I'm going to tell you something. You got to feel guilty about this so you get better at this thing. You need to ask for help sooner. Ask for help immediately. So you need to drop the pride, drop the thing about, oh, I should be smart enough to do this. Like that is all something on your shoulder telling you that, you know, you need to be the one to accomplish this thing. Think about this. What a waste of time to walk around and be like, I should be smart enough to find the cat food. Like, no. Because this would apply to all of life. This would apply to everything you're doing. It applies to your schoolwork, applies to different things. As long as you learn from it. So if you call and ask, where's the cat food? And she says, oh, it's in the garage. Cool. Then let's say it's more complicated than that. You write it down. It's in the garage. Cool. Memorize it. Where it is. It's in the garage. Cool. If you have to call the next day to ask, maybe we have some issues.
Yeah.
But when as soon as you need help, as soon as you find yourself in a place of weakness, think about this. How much do you enjoy helping somebody else when they're in need? It feels good, right?
A lot.
Yeah, it feels good. So what you want to do is allow yourself to set other people up to be your hero. So if you have to ask for help, that means you have to humble yourself down and allow other people to be your hero. What's so funny, Joey? What are you cackling about over here?
Brian and I looked at each other at the same time. And
Well,
just
stop it.
started laughing.
Jeez Louise. Nancy!
I was laughing also because I looked and it was like 8 seconds that time. It wasn't even 3.
She was just listening, Joey.
Yeah, but you said something and then like her response came like 8 seconds later.
Okay, all right. So anyway, bottom line is you need to ask for help earlier. You don't need to feel guilty about the cat thing unless, and here's the thing. Let's take this to the rest of your life. If you wait too long because you're too prideful to ask for help, the cat dies. And that's like, I know that's like metaphorically speaking, but you also like you fail the test or
I
you.
wasn't gonna let the cat die.
Well, you might.
It's a metaphor, okay?
At this point, I'm worried about the cat's well-being. But no, I mean, I'm serious. Like you want to be quick. I think quick to ask for help and to just say thank you, and acknowledge, hey, I'm not an expert in this area. So I'm using the cat because there's your example, by the way. So I'm using it as an example to just be a metaphor for other things. But you go into like, okay, I'm not an expert in your house. I'm not an expert in knowing where your stuff is. It's not right in front of my face. And I'm more worried about the cat getting fed than I am being the one who gets to be the person who discovered where it was. Because the whole time the cat's just looking at you like, are you going to feed me or...
No, what's happening? He's trying to fill dead space.
It's like, I'm trying to figure it out.
I mean, if you want to give me a different example that's not about the cat, you could.
I got a cat.
But you get my point? You get my point, Corinne?
Yes, my source of the guilt was more focused on her impression of me and her possibly expecting me to be an expert on her house, like you said.
Right. And so you have to drop that. So you're a, you know, we're talking about you're going into AP courses and going into this and going into that. Drop other people's expectation of you, drop what they think of you, and just think about how can you get there faster? How can, you know, because what if she did judge you for not knowing? Okay, like who's that? That's on her. That's not on you. And the likelihood of that is so minuscule. But more than that, people love to be the expert. They love to help. They love to be the hero. So if you can set them up for that and go, hey, you know what? I'm not an expert in this thing. Is there any way you could teach me? They're going to go, oh, wow, you're a smart kid, and you don't know this? I would love to teach you. That makes me feel smarter because I get to help you out. So not only do they not think worse of you, they'll actually think better of you, and then you get the opportunity to say thank you.
There's this writer, Corinne, Brene Brown, and she calls it the false narrative that we create in our minds. And so I think like something, not just in all instances, I would just be cautious about creating false narratives about other people's opinions of you and what they're thinking of you. Because like we do this all the time. We talk about it in audition rooms and stuff. Like we create a narrative in our mind of what someone's thinking of us, having no idea what they're actually thinking. Like Matt had this story about a student way back when, Josh McDermott, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he came in, and this guy, he just happened to be like a stone-faced, kind of like very serious-faced looking dude. And so it would look like, through an outside eye, like he's not having any fun at all. Really? Really? Shh. It looks like he's not having any fun at all, but really he's having a blast. And so, like, I mean, you can speak into that story a little bit, but, like, this guy basically, like, to an outsider, it would look like he's not enjoying himself. He's not, like, having a good time in class, but really he's just soaking in all the information, and he processes it differently. So it'd be so easy for Matt to go, oh, okay, he's not enjoying it. I'm not teaching a good class, and get in his head. But instead of doing that, you just listen, and this guy just processes things differently, right?
Correct. Yeah, the story he's talking about is that the guy ended up being a good friend of mine. So he came for his first class and was just listening. He took it very seriously, but I didn't know. I thought he was angry with me. And then he ended up being a long-term student of ours, and he ended up doing really, really well. Ended up on the as a lead role in The Walking Dead. He had his own TV show, and he's still acting, I'm sure, right now. I'm not sure what he's up to exactly right now, but
I can't hear you.
Cool.
Fun.
Can you hear me now? Nancy?
Nancy!
She can't hear.
Can
Did
hear
you mute
now.
us, Joey?
I didn't.
It's just like I can only hear segments of your words.
I think
It's
your
like lagging.
connection is getting...
I heard you
You-
say.
Where?
Oh my gosh.
Go.
Back.
4, 7. Okay? Cool. Where?
He's messing with you.
He's now doing it
Corinne.
on purpose.
He's doing it on purpose.
Which is great.
That's me acting like there's lag.
Yeah, it was really good,
That was
actually.
pretty
Really good.
interesting.
Thank you. Well, you know what, Corinne? You're probably going to have to watch the show back to hear Brian's great story. It was a really good story
All right,
about Josh, and then he got interrupted by Siri. It was a lot of fun.
It was
I hate
on
when it
our
does
end.
that.
It was like his own story too, you know. From his own
No, he
life.
was like, hey, this is a story. And then Siri's like, I don't understand. And then Corinne's like, me neither. I can't hear anything you're saying.
And she's frozen.
I like the pose, though. It's like
It's
it's
a really
thinking
solid
pose.
thinking pose.
All right, well,
Messing with me again?
no, you're actually
you're
frozen.
actually frozen.
I
but
think
you're-
you've got a terrible internet connection. We're going to blame that. But we love you, not your internet connection. And we just want to encourage everybody out there to feed your cats, okay, right away.
And check your internet and get like
Yeah,
solid-
but
no.
especially feed your cats. There's a lot of cats out there. They're hungry. Yep, and they want food right away. So if you don't know where the food is, ask somebody and feed the cat, because otherwise the cat's going to die. And we don't want a bunch of dead cats in the world. They need food. That's our message for today.
And you know,
Hey, your mom thought it was funny, bro. She was laughing.
She did.
Yeah. Unfortunately, your mom's watching live here in the studio. And I say unfortunately
Yeah,
because
we lost all of our.
there's our viewers. Like
Yeah.
our 100% of our
Yes,
viewers now.
100%
Yeah,
down.
our
Went down on
our watch
viewership.
time just went down the drain. All right, so thank you all for watching. That was Corinne. Corinne is gone. We had a great time talking to Corinne. We hope that hope she had fun on the show. I know we were teasing a little bit, but I'm going to wrap everything up for her just so she has this bit of advice. The truth is, yes, junior year is going to be tough, but to embrace it, to go into it with excitement, to go into it with what will this challenge bring for me, instead of thinking about like, oh, the anxiety of it, like what positive things are going to come from the extra work. Where to get started in acting, just go for it. Just 2 feet in, find a way to get started on your acting. And as far as the guilt trips are concerned, acknowledge the why. Try to go into like, why am I feeling this way? What is my spirit trying to tell me? I'm trying to get redirected in some way, shape, or form. So listen to that thing. And it's definitely okay to ask for help. I think asking for help is one of the strongest things you can do as a leader and as a human being. Oftentimes we don't want to admit that we're weak. And my personal opinion is admitting your weakness is the absolute #1 best way to express how strong you are. So thank you so much, Corinne, for being on the show. She's sad. Are you sad? She looks like a sad kitty cat that hasn't been fed.
I can't even.
You can't. All
I
right.
can only hear half of what
I know. We
know.
just
Watch
wrapped
it
up
back,
we just
Corinne.
wrapped
Watch
up
it
the
back.
show. It was really, really great. It was probably the best thing we've said this so far.
Probably ever in the history of the
yeah.
show.
The #1 thing we've ever said. Okay, thank you all for watching. This has been Mornings with Matt. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Share these videos. It helps us put out this light-driven content every day. Thanks so much, and God bless.
And Corinne, please call your internet provider. Thanks for listening to Mornings with Matt. Please like, subscribe, and follow us at Deering Acting Studio to keep up with the latest content. For more information on classes, private lessons, or professional development coaching, visit www.deeringstudio.com. Have a Deering day, everyone.